Well, it's time for us to check in on my favorite, MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's about to smack down Pete Buttigieg in the greatest way possible. She's wonderful. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where all the happy patriots are. I hope you'll join us by subscribing or leave a comment down below. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene on Twitter. Breaking, I'm proud to announce my amendment to fire Pete Buttigieg just passed the House. What? Pothole Pete staged fake bike rides to the White House and used private planes funded by taxpayers to receive awards for the way certain people have sex. This is just okay. And she'll unpack it in this video clip of her presenting to the House floor.
My amendment uses the Holman Rule to reduce the salary of Secretary Pete Buttigieg to $1. Pete Buttigieg has failed to serve the American people as the Secretary of Transportation. He has been busy calling roads racist, enforcing equity action plans, and implementing climate change initiatives.
Okay, just that this passed the House is amazing. You know, it won't go through the Senate. She passed it through the House. That shows Republicans are united with her. Here's Savannah Hernandez on Twitter. The House just approved an amendment to cut Pete Buttigieg's salary to $1 after confronting him in East Palestine and his press secretary telling me I was, quote unquote, aggressive for asking questions on behalf of the American people. All I have to say is this is a 10 out of 10 deserved.
Rather than strengthening our nation's transportation and infrastructure systems and responding to emergencies like the train derailment in East Palestine.
I haven't seen Sweaty Pete do much besides I only see him on Steve Colbert. Here's Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Twitter again. Pete Buttigieg doesn't serve the American people. It took him weeks to visit East Palestine after a toxic train derailment happened on his watch. My amendment is to cut his salary to $1 is paying him too much. $1 is too much.
He stated, "There is racism physically built into some of our highways. Every transportation decision is inherently, in many ways, a decision about equity." I would argue people driving on dirt roads every single day in rural America may feel that way, but our Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, doesn't care about Americans in rural America. He's more interested in declaring that roads are built on skin color and racism. He also stated, ensuring equity and accessibility for every member of the traveling public is one of the Department of Transportation's highest priorities. Again, I'll point to rural America. In the same month he was sworn in, his department introduced racial equities and barriers to opportunities as a consideration for awarding discretionary grants, as if that's how funds should be awarded. In June 2022, he launched a $1 billion pilot program aimed at helping reconnect cities and neighborhoods racially segregated or divided by road projects.
Claiming there's such a thing as a racist road. This is your government on Department of Equity and Inclusion. This is what happens. There's no more merit. There's no more looking at structures. Everything has to be politicized. Everything has to be run through the woke progressive mandates. So suddenly they don't just see a road, they see a road and call it racist. Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter again. Pete Buttigieg doesn't do his job. It's all about fake photo ops and taxpayer funded private jet trip to accept LGBTQ awards for him. I'm happy my amendment passed, but he doesn't deserve a single penny.
Under this program, over $100 million was awarded to tear down and rebuild a freeway in Detroit because it was considered racially divisive. Taxpayer dollars are being used to cover 80% of the project's funds. He has also intentionally tried to deceive the American people, as shown when a video surfaced of him faking a bike ride to a White House cabinet meeting. The video showed Secretary Buttigieg driving to the White House, but stopping in just enough time for his security detail to unload his bike from the back of the gas-guzzling SUV.
And that's my favorite of him being a faker and a fraud, is when he drives his SUV in, takes his bike out, puts his little helmet on, and pretends to bike in because he's a good commuter. That's not leadership. That also isn't virtue. Character is doing what you do even when no one is looking. And when no one's looking, he's driving a gas guzzling SUV. He's punishing you for using the same gas. Then he comes out and postures on a bicycle. Good on you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is a great move. I couldn't be happier. Sweaty Pete needs to have his salary drop to $1, even though he's worth even less than that. I'm Doug in Exile.